Okay, everybody, let's go to the reading carpet. So what story did we read yesterday? Yes, that's right. We read Muin and the Seven Bird Hunters, a Mi'kmaq Night story. Do you remember what we did with the story? Yeah, we learned some Mi'kmaq names of animals, and we also created our own constellation stories or creations. So we are not done with those yet, because today we're going to get to share our constellation stories and creations with each other in small groups. And then your group is going to pick the one that is your favorite, and you're going to perform it as a role play for the class. But before we go into sharing our stories in our groups, we are going to see how well we remember the story from yesterday. All right, raise your hand if you would like to make a tableau. So I would pick probably 5, 6, 7 students who raise their hand, and then I would give them a scene from the story, and I would work from the beginning of the story to the end of the story, so it would be chronological, and we would rotate what kids that we had coming up and doing it, and Tableau would be something they would be used to doing, so we wouldn't need to give too much direction. It would also just help us as the teachers gauge just how well they remember the story and if we need to reread it. All right, okay class, I'm going to give you 1 minute to find your groups that I would have just called out, that would have been predetermined by the teacher. And don't forget to bring your dossiers with you, because they have your marking rubrics and they have your peer assessment and self-assessment forms as well. All right, so you're going to have 20 minutes to share your stories and constellation creations in your groups. Once you have heard them all, you're going to pick the favorite one that you heard that you want to do a role play of for the class. Ready? Find your groups. And here on the smartboard, I'm going to set a timer for 20 minutes, so keep an eye on the clock, and I'll remind you when the 20 minutes is up. By the time the timer is up, hopefully you are starting to or have just picked out your favorite story to do a role play of. Ready? And time starts now. So I would be just circulating around the room, listening in to what the students are doing, and then I would give them a warning once the 20 minutes has passed. And I would remind them also to vote in their groups which role play they want to perform for the class. And then I would give them some direction. Okay class, so 20 minutes has passed. Your group should have voted for the favorite constellation story at this point, or do it now. So we have the craft materials bins open if you want to make some costume pieces for your characters. You're going to need to write a script, and you're going to need to assign characters to each other. So if you need help with that, I'll be circulating around the room as well. You're going to have 2.5 hours to pick your story, write the script, assign the roles, make costumes, and rehearse. Ready? Timer starts now. So I would just be circulating around the room again, helping students with whatever they needed help with. Also acting as kind of like a mediator in case any students were having issues with kind of like dominance over the group. And I would also be gauging how much time they actually needed to complete this. Of course, I would extend the time if I felt like they ready. Timer starts now. So then I would give students probably a 1 hour has passed warning when they have 1.5 hours left, when they have an hour left, half hour, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, probably 3, 2, 1 minutes as well, just because some kids need those transition warnings. And then when I had decided that each group was sufficiently prepared, I would say, okay class, it's time to present our plays to each other. And I would ask the students to raise their hands for the group that wants to go first. And I would tell the audience, okay, class, listening ears on. We're going to be like a professional theater audience, and we would have already talked about this so that we're quiet while the other students are performing. And we're also going to keep our questions and comments until the end of the play. And then once the play was finished, I would ask for 3 questions and comments for that group. And we would be practicing constructive criticism, positive criticism. And then at the end, I would thank the class for sharing their wonderful stories, because of course they were so fun to watch. And then I would tell students they had probably 15 minutes to fill out the self and peer assessment forms in their dossiers, to hand in their dossiers to me when they're done, and they could choose to silently read, draw, or write for the remaining time they have See you.